It's time for a good old-fashioned medieval legend. Now don't get me wrong, the protagonist of this story, Saint Theophilus the Penitent, is actually a true historical figure. He lived in Adana in what is modern-day Turkey and died in 538 AD. He was a cleric, a priest of high standing, with the title in those days of archdeacon. He was under a bishop, and when that bishop died, by unanimous vote, he was elected bishop, which means basically that his name was put forward as the candidate to the Pope, and the Pope then confirmed him to be bishop. Out of his great humility, he turned down the offer and refused to accept the post of bishop. Now, as things go, the man who was then made bishop became jealous and turned against Theophilus and expelled him from his position as archdeacon, which would have basically been the equivalent of pretty much a vicar general or a chancellor, so a position of some authority and weight in a diocese. Theophilus, unfortunately, became bitter and resented. He then turned to a necromancer to ask for a way to get his position back. The wizard then told him that he would need to renounce our Lord Jesus Christ and the Blessed Virgin Mary and his Catholic faith, and he would need to sign this in blood. Theophilus had been reduced and succumbed to the devil to such a point and was in a state of despair and dismay that he agreed and signed the document with his blood. The devil was delighted. Soon after, Theophilus did indeed become bishop. And in spite of his apostasy, he became famous and popular and powerful. Yet, in spite of all of his external trappings, he was extremely unhappy. And he realized with the passing of each day that he was getting closer and closer to his end. And his end meant hell, for the devil now owned his soul. He began to beseech the Blessed Virgin Mary to save him. "My mother, save me." And he went before an altar of Our Lady, prostrated himself on the ground in front of her, and begged her to save him. He did this for 40 consecutive days while praying and fasting. On the 40th day, Our Lady appeared to him, and he beseeched her, "My mother, save me," as she scolded him for this terrible thing that he had done. He begged for mercy, and she said that before I can help you, you must retrieve the contract. "But how am I supposed to do that?" said Theophilus. Our Lady turned to our Lord, and in this case our Lord said he would not enter hell to take the contract away from the devil. Theophilus pleaded over and over again with Our Lady to save him, and Our Lady, in her mercy, agreed to go to hell to force the devil to give back the contract. Theophilus continued to pray. Some versions of this legend say that for 30 more days he prayed in front of the altar of Our Lady and he fasted. On the 30th day, he woke up and the contract was there laying on his chest. He immediately took it to the bishop and confessed everything he had done and asked the bishop to burn the contract, which the bishop did. Theophilus went to confession, received Holy Communion, repented of his sins, and in a state of utter joy and thankfulness, he died 3 days later. If you've enjoyed this medieval tale, which by the way, the actual story is apocryphal, but the man who's the protagonist, Saint Theophilus, is a real historical figure. If you've enjoyed this and would like to hear more of our stories, then click the subscribe button below and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you are a person who wants to know more and be more and learn more, then visit us at passionatecatholic.net, subscribe, and join us and become a passionate Catholic. Until next time, Jesus and Mary, get us there.